Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. I have another layout for Scraptember 2025 with the Scrappy Sisters, and today's prompt is vellum or acetate. So, I am actually creating a pocket page with some pictures from our trip from Destin that um, I am cutting up a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So this will be the base of each of my pockets. Each pocket is a 4 by 4 size. So just cutting these 4 by 4 strips up into the size that I need for each pocket. And since it is mostly a printed paper that reads like a solid, then it doesn't really matter which one goes in which section, but it does look, when you look here, that I have tried to match up where it was supposed to go if it were a full 12 by 12 size piece of paper. So here's where I'm pulling in my acetate for today's prompt that I love, the 49 Market acetate film strips here. So this one, you can see I've actually got several of them laid out here to use throughout this layout here. So just getting one on each side of this large photo, and that's pretty much going to, I'm going to add a little cluster at the bottom with some flowers, with a flower and a couple shells. You will actually see that I used up those particular little scraps of the film strips in a previous video that you saw on day 4. And so don't hesitate to save the little scraps that you might be able to find a way to add a nice little touch to each of your layouts. So this section here is where you're going to see me perform a magic trick. So that picture there underneath the photo was there, and now it's gone. So you can see that it's somewhere probably over, you would think that it would be over underneath that piece of paper. Well, obviously I'm working along here, still filming. I haven't realized that that photo is missing yet till I get ready to start working on that pocket. And still to this day, and it's been several weeks, I actually created this layout probably back in July, maybe early August. And I'm just now getting around to voicing this over in early September. And I still haven't found that picture. So I am getting ready to order a new desk for my scrapbook room. And so I'm hoping maybe as I start to really clean up that area of my room, perhaps it will show up again. So if I find it, I'm actually going to, because the original picture had definitely better coloring when it printed than when I reprinted it on my home printer. So if I don't find it, then I am going to print another version of it to go over the top of the one that I used to finish this layout. Because the one I printed at home it's just too blue, and I couldn't, I don't know, I can't get it to print correctly. So anyway, yeah, working on, so there I had printed, this is where you can see that I printed it at home, and getting it trimmed down here. And so here I am just, I pull out that piece of paper to continue using it to map my photos. And just trimming up. So I do decide, instead of working pocket by pocket, that I did want to use this paper to have some consistency throughout each of the pockets. So I am using the same piece of paper for any of the pictures that I did decide to matte, that I'm using this piece, and I think I end up using all of that particular piece. So trimming these up here, and I'm not sure what I'm doing here, but Anyway, so when you stick your acetate pieces down, how do you do it? That depends on, for me, uh, if I have a way to hide the glue underneath. I do try and do that, but in all honesty, with the 49 and Market ones, that I have had good luck using liquid glue, and once it glue or dries clear, that you really can't see it behind, even if you're not able to hide it behind anything. So, um, I think on this particular project, I might have used both dry adhesive and my liquid adhesive. So I've had good luck with both. So if you have it, and if you're struggling to find ways to use your film strips, that this is a great way to use them as just an accent or like a base for your photos. So here is my magic trick photo that I did. I am still just going ahead with the one that I have. I did start with the picture on the other side, but this little bird piece that I'm using, the bird was facing one way, and so if I was putting it on the other side of the photo, it was going to be looking off the page. So I moved my photo to the outside, and now the bird is looking at us. So for some reason, that is less disturbing to me for some reason. Anyway, so here, this particular section, it's basically a decorative pocket that I didn't have enough pictures to fill up every single pocket. So this one I'm just using for fun. And so I had this Starburst rub-on that was a remnant from a previous page that I had done in this album. And so I decided to use this larger film strip and put like it was a sunrise coming up behind a window. So, and then I am just going to put the flowers on top of the sunrise here. And I do add 2 little pop dots to the top of the flowers, and then I glue down the bottom part straight to, or flat to the layout. So there you go, getting that down here. And let's see, cut off that edge, and so you will see that come up here in another pocket here shortly. So moving on to, I think I'm deciding here, yeah, so I do decide to move those 2 particular pockets. I think I'm trying to figure out like a visual triangle for the pictures that I have matted. And I do make one more move. So this particular pocket moved with the center pocket. So here, using more of that remnant Starburst rub-on, and I'm cutting off even more remnants that all of them will eventually end up on this page in different pockets. So this particular one will fill up the top portion of this pocket and give some visual interest above the photo of me and my sister. Here I'm going to add this film strip to just add a base for my photo, and also add a little more visual interest there, and add that blue color to the layout, I think. Let's see. No, I do end up just using one of the blue film strips, and the rest of them are the pink color. This was actually fussy cut from one of the branding strips of the Beach Vibes collection. Getting a flower on here at the top of that film strip and that's going to cover up the straight edge of the rub-on there, so it disguises that little bit there. Put my sparkly gem on the flowers that I've been including on all of the flowers within my pocket pages. The sparkly gems, been in my stash forever. They are no longer sticky once you take them off the backing, so I am adding just a little glob of liquid glue, and if it oozes out the bottom, it's okay that it gets covered up or it dries clear, and there is no issue from that point. So here I'm gonna Frankenstein a mat together to mat this particular photo. So I was trying to make it work, and I'm like, it's a little too. I was gonna have to cut my picture funny, so I ended up going this route, and actually ended up leaving the extra on the left-hand side of the photo as just um, a little bit of extra decoration there. So helps fill up the square and makes it more of a square once I add that rub-on on there. So just kind of auditioning everything that I had picked out to use on this particular section. This is a rub-on, and so it will actually go overlap the picture just slightly there. And add this particular one that says everything is fine when there is sunshine. So got that added on, and then I do add the flower up there at the top. This one actually has lots of little bits and pieces because I had lots of areas just to, well, one, to fill up within the square because my picture was just a little bit smaller than some of the other ones, and just some supporting pieces to go along with it. So over the top of the starfish, I'm also going to add these sunglasses here. Just a fun little element there in the corner, and then oh, looks like maybe I don't do it here, but eventually I do end up adding some laser cut shells and another starfish to the corner. So this one comes together quickly. This one is, I guess, essentially my title page, Happy. So this is a picture of me and my daughter at the beach, and so this one just has the rub-on that says happy. I am going to add my photo, that remnant of the film strip from up above. So that is going down right there. And I do not mat my photo, but I am trimming it down just a little bit. Make sure the edges are straight from when I cut apart the collages that I get using the Becky Higgins Project Life app, not apt. Adding a little flower there to the surfboard. No, we didn't go surfing, but I don't know, I have loved those surfboards on the puffy stickers, so they've just been fun to play along with. So putting those aside, thinking that those are done, add this picture of my mom and one sister here. And this one just basically gets a flower and the leaf to go along with it. And then this is where you are also going to see some of those remnant rub-ons coming into play here after I obviously add my non-sticky gems. Here's where I do cut that apart, add this little remnant here. And get that, just adds a little texture there and just uses that little bit, so no rub-on left behind here on this particular project. That entire sunburst section that it was already a remnant got used on this particular pocket page here. So I switched out the rub-on that I was going to use originally, that I had thought I would put it in the cloud space up above in the picture, but I didn't really like it once I started working on it. So I switched it out with this other rub-on that says Meet Me Under the Sea. Basically, my photo was matted earlier, just adding this flower here, adding some foam tape to it, and the sparkly gem, and that one is going to be done. So the only remnant I have left is that little piece that I just picked up. And so here I'm grabbing it thinking, nope, if I don't use it here, I may not use it at all. So I just make it fit within some of the areas on this particular card here. So cutting it up, adding it to various different places, and we're going to call it good. So let's see. So this is pretty much going to wrap things up. I'm going to bring all my pieces back out so you can see each of the cards. And then you're going to see the close-up shots here coming soon. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave those down below. Sorry for the strange coloring, that I think the lighting was a little off the day that I took these pictures. So I will have a link down below for everyone playing along with Scraptember, and a list with my social media accounts as well. So go check those out, and we will see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.